Hey guys, it's the Dev Gabe here, and I'm working on my game Hades right now. Let's click on the play. So, I have my arm sticking out. I'm gonna add something, but if I go to my Alchemist region right here, I have this region, and I basically used workspace get parts and part with overlap params, and I just put overlap params with all the characters in a folder, so it only searches everything in the region right here with only the characters. And that was a big performance boost when I was using the while loop. And I could just select, scout, for example, and now I could double jump. If I go into the region, you're gonna realize something. My GUI opens up instantly, and as you can see, if I click on scout, I'll get the scout, and the GUI opened up instantly without any delays as soon as it ran the first time, because I used content provider. And content provider, I did not add into the model, and I didn't add workspace get parts and part as well. So you can see this is how you add it. Just go into some random local script that you don't mind, and I added it into the other local script if it will be in the model. And you could just copy this code and then add your own IDs in here. So the curving frame was this, and then the triangle decal is this, the triangles, and that's why there's no delay. So let's look at what will be included, because that was everything that I did not include: the workspace get parts and part and the content provider, which two things I did not. So let's look at a blank place plate, and as you can see, I included the head bobbing, the health bar, the animate sounds, and the matchmaking. And I called it connection pooling because of how I did it. And you can see that I will spawn back to the spawn point, or the lobby part, which is blue, and then the matchmaking, which is red, and it will do it constantly for me in a loop, kind of like a normal match in Call of Duty, back to the lobby and then back into the game. And if we look into the connection pooling basically just combines everything into one while loop, and it destroys every connect. If you do think of connections, let's say we have 20 players, and then there's I just realized asynchronous might not be spawn, so I don't know, I just changed that to spawn right now. But let's say we have 20 players, and player added is on the 20 players, character added is on the 20 players, and then also HealthChanged is on the 20 players. So that's 3 connections on 20 players. And if you do 3 times 20, that's 60 connections. And these connections will run asynchronous or spawn, because I don't know if asynchronized is the same thing. And that kind of sucks. That's a big performance drop. Just for 20 players, you have 60 connections because there's 3 connections that we added into our script: HealthChanged, and the so on and so forth. And HealthChanged is the worst one of them all, because it works every time they have damage taken. So imagine a high PvP map. You have tons of players shooting at each other. They constantly die, constantly. And what I did is I used connection pooling, which is a while loop. And you might be saying, oh, isn't a while loop worse? Why would you use something that constantly checks, these things, player added, all in one while loop, if it's going to run, each frame? Well, the thing that I used was something called OS clock. And that basically confirms that it's only going to run the if statement once. Okay. As you can see here, I used attributes as well. And this just confirms that it's not going to run more than one time. Attributes are a little worse than the OS clock. So I recommend that you either use or use dictionaries over attributes, but I just used attributes because it was faster, cleaner code. And this is only on character added, so it's not that bad. but I don't recommend you use attributes if it's going to be running multiple different NPCs or something like that. And so I use OS clock, and that just makes it so I don't have it running, after the certain time. It just waits. So right here, you can see the current clock minus the last health regen. That just makes it, if I wanted to run the health regen every 1 second, if I put the health regen to 1 second, right here, health regen speed is 1 second. So it doesn't run this parameter right here more than test out wait. Test out wait. Because the while loop is in a test out wait. It's not test out wait 0.1. It's basically every frame. That's how fast the while loop is going. And that, that's better than having 60 connections for 20 players and many different health change connections for every time the health dies. This is one synchronized loop. Okay, one script, one while loop, and it has all these connect pooling. So I recommend you guys use it. And then you're going to run the game. Okay, what if the memory is like 2,000? And I had that problem. I was running the game. I was like, whoa, why is the memory so high? And that's because I used a while loop. And you might be thinking, hey, why would I use your freaking module or your model if it's going to cause this issue with the memory going to 2,000? Right now it's at 1,000 because I kept the game on for a while. And why don't I just use the Roblox built-in connect? Well, remember, this is one player, okay? And that's a pretty big, that's unfair. If you ran this with 20 players, you actually would realize that the memory doesn't even go up because it's a while loop. It might go up a little bit, but the point is the memory is not going to go up technically because it's in a while loop. And it will always stay the same memory no matter how much players you add in the game, because it is a while loop. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do try to use the model, you realize that it's going to error in a certain part in the connection pool. To fix that, just go into starter players and make the avatar joint upgrade disabled and put on disabled. Don't keep it on enabled. It's enabled by default. So just disable it. That's just for the head movement, as you can see, to do this. And that's if you don't want it, you could just keep it on enabled. But avatar joint upgrade does a slight performance drop, but it's not really noticeable. So according to AI, that's what they told me. The animations also need to be replaced. As you can see, I forgot to do it for you guys. And one more thing, the Animate script is running even though there's no Animate script. Well, if I go into Animate right now, it's empty. So what's going on? Well, this is a bug. And one thing I just found out after I started recording, when I did some research, is that you're supposed to put print in here in an empty script just to remove this bug. And yeah, you can see the rate's going even higher because I'm typing in there. But if I use print, when the game stopped, of course, it won't have the issue. And I can just put hello world, the default. And you're supposed to put that in empty scripts so it never has a script activity bug. And I don't know if this is actually going to drop the performance. So I recommend that you do that in every script that it gave you guys in the model and put just print hello world. And why don't I do it for you guys? Well, I'm having problems with Roblox right now. Every time I upload an asset, I have to appeal it. And it's a big issue. It keeps saying I'm misusing systems or Roblox services, and I don't want to go get involved in the appealing process again and again because it takes time for them to unappeal my model, especially if I keep updating it. So I hope you guys can do this for me. These are 3 things that I recommend you guys to do. Add the print statements in each empty script that I try to replace it with. The Roblox sounds default script is empty, the Animate script is empty, and the health is empty. So just add a print hello world so it doesn't have this little bug with the rates on the script activity. And also the joint upgrade, go into the starter players, go into the joint upgrade, and the animations, replace the animations, because these are my animations, so it's not going to work in your game. And you might be walking around, maybe like, why is the animation not working? Because those are my animations that I forgot to replace them for you guys, so I'm sorry for that. And you can just use the default Roblox animations, just run the game without my animate script and starter player scripts. So you can see here, there's an animate script, just delete this, run the game, or delete it as soon as the game stopped, of course, and run the game again. You're going to get the default anime script and just copy the idle ID and the movement for the run inside of that client connection pool. And you'll see long-term benefits of this with 20 players, like we talked about. Especially, imagine there's 40 players, even better. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.